My name is Chris Mwangi. I'm a technical marketing engineer at Intel. And today, Intel is here to launch our 4th generation Intel Core processors. This is our latest line of processors, and we're really happy to be here with you developers and investors and everybody else who attended Demo Africa. And I'd just like to take a minute or two to tell you about these processors. There's a fundamental shift happening in the computing world as we know it. In the lower power end of things, in the high mobility segment, users are starting to demand more performance, more features out of their devices. People want to play very high-end games on their tablets. People want to open Word documents and edit spreadsheets on smartphones. I know that's not typical use cases, but some people want to do some of these things. We're making more and more demands out of devices that were really not meant to handle these kinds of demands. On the other extreme end of the spectrum, we have the traditional PCs, right? And users are also making certain demands of these traditional PCs. They want them to be more mobile. They want them to be a better reflection of their sense of style and their sense of self. And Intel believes there's a certain computing sweet spot, right? And that's right there in the middle. That is a category that was defined by Intel, and it's called the Ultrabook segment. Who's ever heard of an Ultrabook? Anybody? Who has an Ultrabook? Nice. So the reason why we're talking about Ultrabooks in a 4th generation core launch processor is because nobody goes into a store to buy a processor, right? We all go into stores to buy devices. So what I'm here to do is tell you how this new processor we're putting into Ultrabooks and other devices is going to benefit you as a consumer and you as a user of PCs. First thing, we've made major improvements in battery performance, okay? It's the biggest ever improvement in battery performance or power consumption, if you prefer, generation to generation, going from 3rd generation to 4th generation Intel Core processors. We're talking about greater than 30% improvement in power efficiency of the chips. And we all know that it's what's inside the computer that actually consumes the power and determines how long your battery will last. So what you should expect in terms of actual usage is greater than 9 hours of HD video playback. So battery is a very important thing for us, and we've really put in effort to make it much better improved. The other 2 features I'd like to talk about is graphics. Gone are the days when you need a discrete graphics card with a big fat laptop in order to be able to enjoy even mid-range or your favorite games. Right now with processor graphics, you can play high-end titles such as Call of Duty 4 or World of Warcraft or Grid 2 without requiring a discrete graphics card. So you can still have your thin, slick, very attractive device, and when you really need for it to perform and play really high-end games, it's there for you to do it. This chip has enabled our partners, other manufacturers such as HP, Dell, Lenovo, all these other guys, Samsung, to actually go out there and create very interesting devices and very interesting form factors. So right now you'll start to see things that are convertible, some are detachable, they detach into tablets, and basically where the market is going is to say to you as a consumer, you don't really have to make the choice between either getting a tablet or getting a PC. You can basically have a very good 2-in-1 device that is a PC when you need it, and it is a tablet when you want it, right? There's a lot of other great features that I'm really not going to point out right now, such as wireless display. We made a lot of investment in perceptual computing, so you can come to our demo area and see all sorts of games working without any sort of controller. With you and your body as a controller, you can play games. You can see things like being able to access all your accounts. How many passwords do you have? Just think about that for a second. How many passwords? So imagine if all your computer knew all your passwords for you, so that if you go onto your computer to log in, it recognizes your face and logs you in automatically. If you go on Facebook, you don't have to enter your username and password, logs you in automatically. So this is the kind of technology that we're working on, right? And a lot more great technologies that you can find at our stands. Basically, Intel is saying that we want a future in which you can interact with your machine in a very natural way. And this is a big step in that direction. And in fact, my colleague here, Fred, is going to show you one of the devices. We work with a lot of manufacturers of PCs. This is just an example of a device that we're working with. This is the Dell XPS 12, and it's basically able to transform. Don't try that with your traditional PC, please. Okay? Might not work quite as well. So he can transform it into a tablet, and it has touch and sensors, and you can do all those cool things that you do with your tablets. Thank you very much.